Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Munce Report. Trainer Chris Munce is here to bring us up to speed with all the latest news and previews. Welcome, mate. It's a little bit quieter on the racing front this week. You got 6 runners on the weekend, but I guess midweek it's been a little bit quieter and that sort of thing. But it's going to get busy with a host of horses set to trial on Tuesday.
Yeah, Adam, look, it's one of those post-Magic Millions sort of lulls. It was only this week. We haven't really had a runner, but as you said, we've got quite a few on Saturday, quite a few nice horses going to the races, and hopefully with a bit of the rain can take up so as we get onto a nice racing surface.
Yeah, very good. Well, I guess this is the next wave of horses coming through. But before that happens, there are 6 runners in action this weekend, and attention heads to the sunny coast for the Feature Carnival weekend on Saturday Metro meeting, and you've got 2 runners heading up the M1. Military Gambler is the first of those. He's third up here over the mile. He's now stepping up to mile, and he's had a nice trial in between runs.
Yeah, I thought he went really well at Ipswich the other day with a big weight on his back. Wigo rode him, and he was only just narrowly bobbed out of it by a very short margin. He had big weight to carry, and but I thought he raced very, very well. I think the mile suits. He's probably one that won't be too concerned with a bit of rain. He seems to appreciate a bit of moisture in the ground, and I just think he seems to be racing himself into a good bit of fitness.
Okay, and yeah, he obviously showed some talent in his younger last preparation, and then he's just taken a little bit of time, and you think that the extra distance and, as you said, racing into fitness might be the key with him?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I think he had a bit of as I spoke to the owners about his last run that he had at Eagle Farm, set to knock him about a little bit, and it's taken him a while to get his confidence back up and going, but he did race very well there the other day, so I'm sure he's on the right path.
Okay, very good. Well, he lines up in the Q to 3 odd handicap over the 1,600 metres. Ryan Wiggins to ride from barrier 7. We then move over to Smart Meteor, who lines up in a Class 6 handicap over the 1,600. David, as he's affectionately known, he's in form. He's won 2 of his last 3, and he's had a little freshen up for this as he's dropping back to the mile here.
Yeah, I've just left his runs a bit spaced. He copped the brunt of a win the other day by the handicappers. He was penalised 9 points, which was quite harsh. But he's back to a Class 6 there, and probably back to a mile. Probably got a few little things against him, as in back in distance and up in weight. But having said that, the horse is still going very well, and he showed the other day that he's also able to handle a bit of wet and a bit of moisture in the ground. So I just think so long as Jaden's able to give him the right sort of run in transit back off the speed as he has been doing, I'm sure that this horse will really hit the line quite nicely. He's in a good vein of form, and you can't knock horses when they're racing the way that he is.
Yeah, that's right. And Jaden's been aboard his last 3 rides. Yeah, 2 wins and a third, a close-up third. So good luck to everyone involved there with Smart Meteor. Hopefully the run can continue. All right, let's turn over to Ipswich meeting on Saturday, where you've got 4 acceptors there on a heavy 8 currently at the time of recording. Heroic Miss lines up for her second career start after finishing 5th on debut.
Yeah, her run first up was good. I did expect a bit more, but I do feel she's a very timid filly, and she's not a big filly. And I think the way the race panned out at Caloundra the other day, she was in amongst other horses. Was getting buffeted about, and I don't really think she had the confidence to be able to cop that sort of pressure under race conditions. So she'll have the addition of blinkers on Saturday. Michael Murphy to ride. He's drawn pretty ordinarily from barrier 11 of 11, but there's not a lot of options for her. So I do feel that this is, at this stage, should be going around and probably being drawn out where she probably isn't the worst in the world. It'll just give Michael a chance to be able to let her travel and race freely without sort of having the concern of being crowded and hampered for galloping room. So I think that this filly with blinkers on Saturday could be a sharp improver.
Okay, yeah, sounds like it. Bit of context behind the first up run as well, because she trialled well prior to that, hadn't she?
Trialled very well. She'd led her first trial, and then the second trial she was 3 deep, once again with galloping room. So as I mentioned before, she's not a big filly, gets a little bit timid in amongst horses. So I feel the blinkers should help her nicely on Saturday.
Very good. One to watch on Saturday. That's the opener. We then turn our attention to Fastnet Jack, who's a dual acceptor at race 4, a maiden handicap where he's drawn better in barrier 9. Was also an acceptor in the cutest 3-year-old maiden, but drawn poorly in 17. So looks like you'll head to the maiden handicap over the 1350.
Well, I think so at this stage. Obviously, the weather could change that, but I think at this stage you'll go to the maiden, open maiden. He improved nicely into his second run for our stable to be narrowly beaten at Doomben there 2 weeks ago. He's done very well since. He'll also have the addition of blinkers on Saturday. I think they'll help him. He's a bit of a laid-back character, and I just think he's a big striding bloke who the blinkers should help nicely now that he's up to 1350.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it was a good run last start, wasn't it? So fingers crossed he can build on that, and good luck to the O'Toole family with Fastnet Jack there. We then turn our attention to Northern Woods, who's entered for a rating 0 to 62 handicap over the 1700 metres. Interesting jockey acceptor here, Carl Zechner. He's a South African jockey who's a senior rider, ridden his fair share of winners, and he's recently made the switch to Queensland.
Yeah, Carl's been coming in and riding work for our stable of a morning. He rides quite light. Seems to have a good ability. His track work suggests that he knows what he's doing on the horses. His form from South Africa and Adelaide is very good. He's ridden a Group 1 winner in South Africa. So he'll have his work cut out from barrier 20 there with Northern Woods on a Saturday, but he'll come into barrier 12, I think, with the emergency. So I think that it'll be good to see Northern Woods go around. And even though he has drawn poorly, he still needs to have a gallop there on Saturday.
Okay, and of course, yeah, Northern Woods, he was a last start winner over the 1900, and he steps back a little bit in trip here to the 1700.
Yeah, they'll go along, and I'm sure if Carl's able to give him a good ride, just back off the speed, sort of midfieldish, or just back off midfield, he'll hit the line very strongly. Okay,
well, good luck to Carl on debut for the stable, and as we said, he's ridden plenty of winners. So although no favourites from the Barry Gods there, and good luck to connections involved with Northern Woods. The final runner on the program is Sakura Star, who was finished second at Kilcoy last start.
Went very well. It was a much improved run. I think if Zach had had the race over again, he probably would have held the lead. She jumped beautifully from barrier 3, and he then decided to sort of let the eventual winner go forward and lead, which I think in hindsight was probably a mistake. But he knows the filly now. He'll be able to, from the barrier 3 there, ride a nice race. Whether that is in front or from just behind the leaders will have to be left up to him. But Sakura Stars, in my opinion, I think she's just starting to race herself into a good bit of winning form. Okay, very good. Yeah, knocking on the door there, Sakura Star, and good luck to the Eureka Stud connections involved with her on Saturday. All right, mate. Well, that's the wrap. Sounds like a couple of horses worth following over the weekend, and we'll see how these trialers go into next week. Very good, Adam. Can't wait.